Guys, let me ask you a question. Serious question. When did it become a thing that if you're critical of something, in this case, let's say a movie or a TV show, if you're critical of it, you are a hateful person? It has to mean that you're just hating. Like, I'm starting to think that we've had a number run on us in this world. You know, like somehow we've been brainwashed to believe that we cannot be critical of anything. And it's dangerous to me because it makes me feel like somebody is moving us as a society in a direction where we won't be able to be critical of things. Like we're becoming accepting of the concept that we shouldn't actually have opinions about anything. We're becoming less and less accepting of each other as individuals to have the right to say I like something or I don't like something, as if this is no longer relevant to life. You know, so when I see something like, you know, what we have going on in pop culture, in this case we're talking about Star Wars again, and of course we're talking about Kenobi. If since this thing dropped, and it was only like 2 days ago, people have been fighting over this. You know, we saw the beginnings of this with the sequel trilogy, or, you know, specifically with The Last Jedi, where you have people who will not let it go that this was the best thing in the world, and of course people who have their opinion that they didn't like it. Now, of course, the people who didn't like it are the ones who are under attack. You know, the ones who did like it and love it, you know, it's perceived that they're on the right side of things. The people who didn't like it are just being hateful. You know, and that's where we are today. You know, if you go along with the flow, if you like what the industry is giving you, then you're a good person. You know, you're well adjusted, you love everybody, you're all about diversity and inclusion. But if you don't like what they're giving you, how has it come to be that people are now twisted into being racist? They're hateful, you know, they're difficult, they're like every bad thing under the sun. It's just the weirdest thing in the world. You know, and people come into my comment section with all of this when you never heard me say that I hate Kenobi. You know what I mean? The show or the character. No, but I am critical, as I have the right to be. And I have the right to be critical as a fight for your rights as well. Because someday, believe it or not, there's something that you're not going to like. And you won't want people to say that you're all types of terrible things just because you don't like it. Whether it's a TV show, a movie, or a politician, or a monarch, or a dictator. You know what I'm saying? Like, how far do we go with this? You know what I mean? Like, every person has the ability to do that. So anyway, guys, I just wanted to open up with that. Like, this is not about being hateful. This is about being critical. This is about being observant and speaking your mind based upon what you observe. You know, couldn't be more simple to me, but it is an interesting phenomenon. So I just wanted to put that out there, guys. But anyway, I want to get into this story here that I saw on Screen Rant, and it involves one Mr. Hayden Christensen, aka Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader, in the new Kenobi series. All right, so we're gonna break some things down here because I'm curious about something, and I just want to illustrate something else as well. So anyway, let's get into this. This is the Gospel According to Mark with a C. He is I, and I am he. Just taking some time to tell you exactly what's on my mind. Thank you for joining me once again, my friends. And there go the firecrackers. So, and there go the dogs. But anyway, guys, thank you for joining me. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit the notification. And if you care to give a super thanks, I do appreciate that. As always, I say, guys, I appreciate you anyway. So, listen, let's talk about Hayden Christensen, guys. And let's say right up front, you know, going along with what I was talking about earlier, I know that some people are perceived as having a problem with Hayden Christensen. You know, this has always been like a gray area in Star Wars for some reason. Like, they say that Hayden Christensen got a raw deal with the prequels because a lot of people allegedly did not like his performance. I'm old enough. I was in the theater at the time. And I mean, I remember criticism, but like I said before, criticism is criticism. There is no movie that you're going to see anywhere, anytime, where the actors are not going to be criticized, you know, or the plot, or the pacing, you know, things like that. He's no different, you know? So anyway, it has always been given that he had a hard time. So I'm not trying to pile up on Hayden Christensen with this. This is not what I'm talking about, but I do question the wisdom of a decision that he made, according to ScreenRant.com here, that says that Hayden Christensen didn't talk to George Lucas before joining the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Okay, he did not consult with George Lucas. Now that just seemed like strange to me, right? Because this is a character that George Lucas created. Like, this is the weird thing about where Disney, Lucasfilm, Star Wars is right now. Because you have a situation where George Lucas, the creator of all of this, is alive. This visionary, this beautiful, incredible visionary, is still alive. And you would think going forward, you would pick his brain as much as possible. That this man created this universe, you know? So you would think it would be relevant to see where he might have wanted to go, what he might think about this. Now, I know what you're saying. He sold the company. He sold Lucasfilm. And he did. Absolutely, he did. So this belongs to Disney right now. So Disney can do with it what they will. But one would hope, as a lifelong Star Wars fan, that there would be some type of commitment to carrying on that vision, to carrying on that mission, that he was on, the message, the philosophy of it all. I believe Dave Filoni said they're not even thinking about the philosophy of it all. They just want to do whatever they want to do. But that's not what Star Wars and Star Wars fans have come to expect. But let's get into what it is that Hayden Christensen said, shall we? Like I said, this was on ScreenRant.com. And it says here, in a recent interview with Total Film, Christensen revealed that he had not discussed reprising his Darth Vader role for the upcoming Obi-Wan Kenobi series at all with George Lucas. When asked if the actor had any conversations with the former Lucasfilm head prior to joining the new Star Wars series, Christensen explained that he hadn't, and had attributed Obi-Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow as the reason why. Read what the actor had to say below. Now, this is Hayden Christensen talking here. He says, "I have not, no. I really felt like this was Deborah Chow's story, and I really wanted to follow her lead on this one. I think what she's done here is just incredibly exciting." Okay, now there's nothing wrong with that statement. Obviously, Deborah Chow is the boss. This is probably what he should be saying. After all, it's been a long time. It's been like 2005, I believe, since he had this role. So he has an opportunity to step back into it, to get maybe a little bit of that bitter taste out of his mouth that he got at the time, from critics and the media and all of that stuff and whatever fans might have been out there, So I get it, right? So it goes on to say, although it may seem like Christensen's choice not to discuss his character's return with George Lucas was a slight, this is not necessarily the case, given he is a great admirer of Lucas's work. As the actor explained, Christensen simply chose to maintain a singular vision. What a novel idea. A singular vision with the story, and looked to Chow as a creative guide for his Obi-Wan Kenobi role. That's all well and good, except for the fact that, like, anyone who actually follows this story, you can already see where the plot holes are. You can already see where the changes in continuity are. So that singular vision that you're talking about, it all comes from the creator and the actual original visionary. That's what I'm saying before. You have to consult this man before you think that you can have a singular vision, because it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't go with what happened previously. It doesn't. And I told you in the other video, in my review of this, the only way that you can really get on board with this is to overlook these things. There's nothing wrong with liking Kenobi. There's a lot to like there. I said that in my last video. This is not just hatred. It's just a matter of, I don't like the fact that you have to dance around this. You have to overlook that. You have to forget about this in order to make it work. That's the only issue that I have with it. I wish that it wasn't like that. But unfortunately, it is, because they chose to follow the singular vision of Deborah Chow, who just so happens to be not the creator. Okay, so it says here, Chow has served as a co-showrunner and director of every episode of the series. As such, she is the arbiter of the overarching narrative of the upcoming show, and has helped evolve Anakin/Darth Vader from where audiences last saw him in 2005. Okay, that's 17 years ago. 17 years ago. So I'm all for being able to get in there and creatively do the things that you want to do. But like I said before, if you want to protect the integrity of the story, the integrity of the character, I really am having a hard time with understanding why they wouldn't have consulted with George Lucas. you know, and as an actor, Hayden Christensen, I would think that he would have done the same. You know, just reach out to him and say, hey, George, you know, where do you think this character might have, you know, gone from this point right here? You know, that would have maybe saved you the embarrassment of playing up some big reveal like Kenobi didn't know that Anakin was Vader and Vader was still alive. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that George would have co-signed with that, but then that's just my opinion. I don't know, and neither do you. Like I said, all of us are speculating here. You know, so that's the reason why the hate thing doesn't come into play here. Just because you ask questions doesn't mean that you hate it. It doesn't mean that you hate Hayden. It doesn't mean that there's some backlash. It doesn't mean that you're racist. This is something that we're supposed to have an opinion about. I mean, passionate Star Wars fans are not new. We've been around for decades, you know? So to act like we're not supposed to be passionate now is disingenuous. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to put that out there just for your, you know, your consideration and your opinion, not to dump on Hayden or anybody else. Just a question. Do you feel that it was appropriate or useful or productive to not seek out George's opinion, like in every step of the way? Like, as a consultant, don't tell me he doesn't own Star Wars anymore. I know he doesn't own Star Wars anymore, but he is still alive as the original visionary, as the creator. I just think that it's foolish to not consult with this man while we still have him. One day too soon, he won't be here. All of us, one day too soon, won't be here. But you can hope that you're contributing, you know, to the discussion, you know, to the fabric of this thing called life. I mean, that's what I'm here to do. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed, you know, my contribution to all of this. It's not a hateful contribution. It's supposed to be a productive one, okay? So that's what this is all about. Guys, get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about this particular topic. And as always, I thank you. You guys remember to like, share, subscribe, you know, hit that notification bell. I do appreciate anything you can give in the way of super thanks. As always, guys, much love. I'll catch you on the next one. This is The Gospel According to Mark with a C. Rock on.